Hello and welcome for today's live stream here on Ethereum channel. It's the third live stream, which we have every Wednesday at, what is this here? 4 p.m. London time, 5 p.m. Berlin time, and 6 p.m. Cyprus time. That's where I am based. And of course, you can calculate the other time zones where you're sitting. I would love to get your feedback in the chat window. Where are you based? Please write it in the chat window. And if you're watching the recording, also post your location, the city, for example, or the country in the video comments. Yeah, this is really interesting where you are all from and where you are sitting. I would love to know this for my personal knowledge. Okay, let's start with today's session. Today we have some interesting topics. As mentioned in the Ethereum YouTube, Discord channel, today we want to discuss some entry strategies on the 5-minute chart, and also there was the request that there is a missing puzzle piece, both trading strategies with OptiStruct and Volume Ventures, how you can use this, to especially trade leverage products like futures or CFDs. I personally recommend to trade futures, but of course also CFDs is possible if you have a good broker and you don't trade throughout the news, or you have really large stops. That's all good. Precise entry technique, stop loss settings, that's what we cover in today's video. But first, let's quickly go through the markets. NASDAQ, you see this here on my screen, is approaching new all-time highs today, even in the pre-market session. But let's start with BTC, Bitcoin first, as always, and well, go through the analysis what we did last week. Okay, last week, and this is the same, you can watch last week's recording. We start with a 4-hour chart and we go down to 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes as well. And here we have in this on the screen, we have our indicators. Volatility zone edge with the colorful candles, same as Volume Ventures at the lower end, same colors, only on the candles. And then we have OptiStruct Premium, and we have the new indicator Wabi-Sabi Wyckoff Flow Structure map, which you can see here at the top, and which you can also see with these zones, horizontal zones. BC stands for buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. This is now a pullback in this range from my point of view, and we will see selling above here, weak highs, weak all-time highs. As you can see, also the Bitcoin made on Monday, new all-time highs here on Binance. Breakoff structure, you can see this here with new all-time highs. Also some buying there on the 4-hour chart, but much less as here before. So, well, from my point of view, this is it. We can look for short trades. Of course, don't trade against this very strong trend. I mean, you can trade it if we have the confirmation on lower time frames. Of course, then this can be possible. Or if you trade, for example, on a 4-hour 4-hour candle, trade, wait for the 4-hour candle to break, and then trade back to the range and the failure to the downside. So from my point of view, everything what you see here is all good. Everything is set. I don't need to update this forecast or this projection. So, and then the correction will go to extreme order block. From my point, this is pretty sure. We also have here the previous Wyckoff area, range area, which also is, I mean, similar to volume profile analysis. We have one volume profile here, we have one volume profile here if you combine them. Okay, if you make composite volume profiles, composite value areas, we have this kind of stuff, and then the market goes quickly here and will quickly go to the other side, to the lower end at this extreme order block here, 103,000, 106,000, and then the lower end 99,680. Yeah, so this is very interesting scenario if this really takes place. I think currently it looks like it, but of course, if we see for some reason everybody is talking about interest rate cut, for example, let's quickly have a look at the interest rates cut. We have, because this is one of the most important things when we talk about entry strategies and trading. Okay, the overall picture we have on the Fed Watch tool, it's 69% with an interest rate cuts to 0.5%. Somebody's calling it that we might get a higher interest rate cut, 0.5%. Somebody's requesting, well, but there is 0% possibility. We will see if this will take place. And of course, we have some relevant news up there. CPI was on Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. Yesterday we had the good bullish reaction on CPI news. So next one is, of course, jobs report. Anyway, everything is visible in the, from our point of view, everything is visible in the volume. Currently, we don't have any continuation here. This does not take place. So this is a fake new all-time high from the current point of view, and we should see selling here in the Bitcoin. Of course, not immediately. It will take some time for big market participants to rotate. So what are we expecting? Exactly, I'm expecting, okay? Maybe there are some other team members in Ethereum who are expecting different things. So we are expecting, I'm expecting this Wyckoff logic to happen. We have a distribution phase in Bitcoin. So, and this is a failed rally continuation, and we should see soon falling prices in BTC. We can also go to lower time frames, 1 hour time frame, and then we discuss the entry strategies. On the 5-minute chart, we'll discuss it with the NASDAQ, because I'm mostly trading the NASDAQ, but of course you can apply the same things on other markets. While the NASDAQ is selling off heavily here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, on the 1 hour chart, everything is set. Also, 1 hour target here is reached. So yeah, market is ready for selling. Especially if we go below and sell off this inducement to decisional order block, the market is in downward rotation. Yes. Yes. Okay, I think on 50-minute chart, everywhere you see the same things. I don't need to discuss all these kind of things. I think over and over again. Let's quickly go to Euro USD. Only if you have any questions. Okay, let me take a look in the chat window. Oh yes, we have a lot of people here. Munich, Mannheim, Perth, Australia, nice. Ping Piggy, Heidelberg, Austria, Cologne. Yeah. How realistic are Hopf's forecasts, I don't know. Hopf's forecast, you mean Philip Hopf, I think. Well, he's calling 70%, but all his forecasts are only based on what is the name? On one analysis. So there's no volume included. There's just psychological. There's no fundamental analysis. So I think there's a lack in this kind of analysis. Range between 51 and 36,000. I don't know, what is this? Good. Let's continue with the euro. From my point of view, we are ready with Bitcoin. If you have a different opinion, please ask your questions in the chat window. Can you please explain the use of high probability order blocks with the help of volume ventures? Yes. So the most important thing, I will explain this, okay? I will explain this in a second after we go through the euro, for example, and then we'll do this on the NASDAQ, okay? Because order blocks are very important, but the most important thing is to understand the market, because the markets are always changing, and it's very important to understand the behavior of market participants, trapping other people to then go in one or the other direction. That's the market. Just want to facilitate trades. So in the euro, this is also my hypothesis from last week. Nothing new to you. In the 4-hour chart, we mentioned, okay, we finished here. So there is this upward movement. And this upward movement is currently running up until extreme order block. So I'm looking for short entries here in the euro based on swing trading, swing trades. So there might be an entry pattern on the daily chart. Here we are on the 4-hour chart. I usually trade very bigger time frames or very small time frames. So I either trade the daily chart or execute also on lower time frames. But my stop management, for example, is on daily chart, or I trade like 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart, really, really low time frame scalping methods, which is then for just half an hour intraday trading for the NASDAQ opening. So here, actually, when the market comes to this extreme order block, I'm looking for short entries on the higher time frames, and this is also something important for order blocks. To be honest, I'm not the expert in order blocks trading, okay? Because from my point of view, order blocks are just levels where, of course, we had institutional people position themselves, but you see them, they can easily taken out. So I don't execute purely on order blocks. I execute mostly on price action, okay, combined with volume ventures and the bigger market hypothesis. So an order block for me is just an area where something has taken place, of course, but this is an extreme order block, and of course I know that this can because the market fakes, big people are faking us to trap us in the wrong direction. So from my point of view, and this is what you can see here, a high probability order block, well, I'm looking for short trades, but I don't execute purely on this order block. So I'm waiting for the market to go in this direction. And of course, then I wait for a short reversal, short entry pattern, for example, on daily chart, or I'm waiting for some candles here on volume ventures. Okay, this can be also seen as a as a weakness. Taking a look on the 1 hour chart, because the lower time frame we go, we have more volume ventures like sensibility. And here we can see them coming again, coming there, there, and there. They have been trapped here on the lower end. And let me see what happens here, because I have something going on. Yes, okay. Yeah, so when these people are out, okay, the market is always when we have colorful candles, we always need to ask ourselves this question, okay, is this a continuation sign or is this a reversal sign? Because this question cannot be answered by volume ventures. It's showing us the more or less the extremes when we have extreme order flow on the market side, and of course a push in the price. So it's showing us orders moving the price. And always when we see colorful candles, we need to ask ourselves, is this a continuation sign or a reversal sign? And this we can answer with the bigger picture view. Okay, so from my point of view, always when we see, especially on lower time frames, now colorful candles like here on the 1 hour chart, and when we see this level clearly taken out to the downside, from my point of view, it starts here. So when I see this 116.84 will be broken to the downside, okay, clearly, then it's a sign for me to enter in short direction. Of course, I don't enter like just randomly. And of course, the lower the time frame is, look, we need to take a look at the bigger picture. The target for this kind of move on a swing trading basis would be first this previous low, and then of course even lower. So if I exit on lower time frames, I always open a small contract, maybe there, okay. And then once the move is going in my direction, we can scale in. But don't go in, I don't go in all in within one shot, because this, it's not good for your risk and money management. You might get into trouble. So I hope I answered a little bit the question, what is a good high probability order block? Because a good high probability order block we'll find first on bigger time frames, and then also we need to have the right trading direction. Right trading direction for our time frame. So from my point of view, the right and next trading direction in the Euro USD would be a short trade. A short trade. We'll see if this will happen. Of course, when we take out these extreme order blocks to the upside, we need to be careful. Talking about our, because we have this here, our Wabi-Sabi Wyckoff Flow Structure map. For example, this 50 minutes map will or is currently showing us targets like really far up. Oh, nice. We have targets here from 126, 127.6. So this is very important to know that in the current point of view, from the current point of view, once we see these kind of targets, it doesn't mean that these targets have to be reached. Okay, especially in the lower time frames, in the current version of the Wyckoff Flow Structure map, it is repainting the targets. So it just shows that here we have a very very high sensitive range. Let's take like this range. And currently the market is moving in this direction to the targets. So as long as this move stays valid and we will continue to the upside, okay, we might maybe reach this target, and I'm wrong with my short idea. But as long if the market will go back to this range, okay, this target here will be eliminated. And once we go to the lower end, we will see the target on the downside. And this is currently what the team is working on the second version of Wyckoff Flow Structure map, that we combine this also even more with volume ventures and have a fixed target right at the beginning. So from my point of view, we are here in a distribution phase, even though it is showing here accumulation. I don't think so that this is an accumulation phase. So always ask yourself the question, okay, when you see this kind of information, does this really fit to your trading style, your trading view? And if not, well, of course, risk and money management is the most important thing for trading. So you need to have a proper risk and money management to not get trapped with wrong information. Okay. Yeah. Good. Let's do it. Let's see if we have more questions. Philip, did you combine the 80 indicators with market profile in your zero charts? No, I don't combine the Ethereum indicators with the market profile and zero charts. Actually, I don't use market profile anymore. I only use volume profile because the market profile doesn't give me any edge. I'm that far that I see everywhere I see volume profiles, and I can also combine the volume profiles like in my head. I don't need to use the market profile to see combined market profile. The plug-in of volume ventures are missing. What do you mean, Thomas? The TP stands for target and the P. TP stands for target. TP stands for target, yes. Target price. Is there any specific color code for volume ventures like red, white, or yellow, etc.? So there is the color code for volume ventures. No, this is not the white one. For volume ventures, the color code is you need to change C-zone up and C-zone downward to gray, okay, and the rest is all standard and also higher time frame. You need to change to chart, and these are the only things you need to change from the beginning on. And then there are these colors, okay, extreme sell, extreme sell, extreme sell 3. It always starts with white, and we have here also extreme sell. Of course, we have extreme buy, extreme sell. This is interesting. It starts like this, and you can see this, for example, and in this chart. Okay, we have negative candles. This is an extreme sell with white candles printing, then blue extreme sell. Then we get this pink, and then we get this darker, what is this, purple, and then red as extreme sells. Extreme selling orders are pushing. Okay, they push even more once they are done here, and then they are out. Okay, and we have the same on the other direction. We have extreme buys with the The most important thing, there's no clear, where do we have a clear? This one is pretty clear. So it starts with white, then there is yellow, then there is orange, red, and blue as the most highest buy orders, extreme buys on the long side. So these colors are buying extremes, and these ones here are selling extremes. Sometimes it can happen that, for example, here, for example, where do we have this? Here. No, this is also buying. Yes, this is also buying. Sometimes it can happen that it shows in the different direction, displays in a different direction. And this is especially in higher time frame not relevant. In lower time frame it is. Here, for example, there. We see this red one is extreme buyers coming. Okay, even though it is in the other direction, it is still relevant. It's buyers coming, and just the reaction is not yet there. Sometimes it's this was the news reaction, and so it's still a continuation. We will see continuation in this moment. The most important thing, okay, about how to use volume ventures, okay, is also we are in a very, I would say, wild process, free process, how to use this indicator. Okay, the team is developing constantly ideas, putting them in indicators, and then of course we run back tests how to use these kind of things. And also, well, you can use this to your advantage as you like. So for example, once we see here on the 15-minute chart, we see the first colorful candle printing. Okay, don't execute short trades, just execute long trades. As long as we see on the 15-minute chart the color goes, okay, we can execute long trades, and even then on the higher time frame, for example on the 1 hour chart, we can still trade the demand order block in long direction. It always depends on your trading time frame and trading time frame. I think trading time frame and risk and money management, these are the most important things. So the tools we are using, the indicators what we developed is really unique. It is working on many different time frames. I use it in my German YouTube channel. I use it for stocks analysis on the daily chart, and it works because you see a lot of insights. You see a lot of things on the daily chart as well for stocks. But of course, here we are talking about lower time frame entries, order block entries, and this kind of stuff. And there, let's say it is not that easy, especially on the lower time frames, because on the lower time frames there is more fake, there are more traps, and if you want to have a safe entry, the best safe entry is to start small, and once it goes into your direction, scale in to your target. This is the best entry strategy. Okay, let's go to, even though here today is a little bit wild, right? Because I'm not that well prepared as the last times. Let's go to NASDAQ, because this is also my favorite market to trade in higher time frames, lower time frames, everything. Let's wait for volume ventures to load. There we go. So the NASDAQ just made today new all-time highs. Let's go on the 4-hour chart. We start on the 4-hour chart first. And we are in a stable and healthy uptrend, especially since the CPI data yesterday. Well, we really had a boost to the upside, and also followed today with colorful candles on the 4-hour chart. Okay, where do we have the colorful candles? We have them here, we have them here, we have them here. Okay, just there, just marking the colorful candles. And you see it by yourself. Where are they printing? Okay, at the highs, at the swing highs. So currently the color is decreasing. We have already a white candle on the 4-hour chart. So it looks like this might be a swing high. We get a pullback below the demand, maybe to decisional order block, get some nice pullback here. And then it is very important how the market will react, should continue to the upside, especially if the NASDAQ stays strong. Today, it's a little weak. Currently today, the Dow Jones is the most strongest index with 0.74% profit today. NASDAQ is break even. S&P 500 just closed the gap, session range gap, couple of minutes before, and now is, from my point of view, also a good buying opportunity. Why is here a good buying opportunity? Here and there, now in the NASDAQ, in the lower time frames. Okay, in the lower time frames, we are now coming to lower time frame entries on the 5-minute chart. We go down now. So here we are on the 1-hour chart. We see colorful candles coming from this side, finished at the session high. So from my point of view, this is now, we see a pullback, and then we should see at least a little push to the upside. And then we see the question if it's continuation to the upside. I think we will continue a little bit more, maybe to these highs here, 24,181, or of course even higher. Why is here, right there, a good buying opportunity? Let's go deeper down to the 50-minute chart. Because on the 50-minute chart, we have colorful candles on the downside. Look at this. Last 50 minutes candle was printed a colorful candle on the downside. Sellers are exhausted here. And especially if we make new highs, then this colorful candle, okay, we can buy this thing at least to the middle or to the upper side, of course. Risk and money management. First, of course, entry here, right there, and stops somewhere there, trade it to the upside. We just closed the gap in S&P's session range gap closed. NASDAQ also undercut the session range gap. So from my point of view, of course, do it at your own risk. I executed a couple of half an hour before, just right before this session, executed long trades here. Small long trades, short-term long trades. So what do you see on the 5-minute chart? On the 5-minute chart, and then I show you also my trading setup for the lower time frames. What I like is that we also see the colorful candles here coming. Sellers might get exhausted here. And especially if we take out the supply, we will go back to this wabi-sabi range in the middle, maybe at the lower end. And once we are in, as I said, this might be repainted to the upside. This is something what the team is still working on. From my point of view, everything what we saw here the last days is still bullish. They just closed the gap, kicking all the buyers out. And yeah, then we will see a continuation within the next days. Of course, and this is very important, if the market fails tomorrow and makes new lows, daily lows, then this upward move for now might be over, and we need to wait and wait for better entries. I did the same here on Monday. Okay, on Monday the market went into this correction, and we saw this colorful candles on the 5-minute chart, also on the 15-minute chart at the lower end. So this is a sign at the end of the day. These sellers, they got trapped here and the market exploded. But of course, they could be right, right? Okay, they could be right and then push this market to the downside. In the end, the bigger time frame matters, okay? And in the bigger time frame, on the 1-hour chart, we see it pretty clear. Or on the 4-hour chart, we also see it pretty clear. These sellers here, they got exhausted. We haven't seen this kind of selling since many months before. And once we overtook the supply order block here, it was pretty obvious that we at least see a reaction to the upside. To a smart money trap, this one, then extreme, and well, of course, then CPI made it possible for new all-time highs, and they just continue to the upside. So let's go to the 5-minute time frame entry. And again, the most important thing from my point of view is context analysis. What is context analysis? Context analysis is not just rely on order blocks, not just rely on volume ventures, not just rely on trend. Okay, put everything into a context and build your hypothesis based on this information. Very important. So now we are going to scalping methods, how you can use lower time frame entry strategies. And this also works on Sierra charts or any other platform where you have also the volume profile. So this is my personal intraday trading setup. It's pretty crowded, right? Some of you already know it. If you want me to share it, as here there's this link there, just send me a message in the Ethereum channel, okay? And I'll share you this setup, okay? Everything is free and open, except of course the Ethereum indicators I use. So what do we see here? Of course, we see volume profile today, point of control, value area. So pretty basic stuff from volume analysis. Then you see in the middle, this red thing is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. And then we see standard deviation bands from the VWAP 0.5 to 2, and the same on the lower end, okay? -2 to -0.5. So, and of course, the overall analysis is the most important thing. So today, at first in the beginning, it looked like long trade, long day, okay, 1-2% to the upside again. But then we had heavy selling on the NASDAQ, or this color decreased on the 5-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart as well. So we should wait for entries. Also, we had a session range gap. What is a session range gap? From my point of view, a session range gap is a gap when the open, the New York open, is above yesterday's high. Not the closing price. Closing price is not relevant. The high. Okay, yesterday it was close and high was pretty much the same. So, and take a look at this in the S&Ps. In the S&P, it was tick by tick. They closed this gap. In the NASDAQ, they overshoot to the downside. Nevertheless, where are high probable entries. High probable entries. If we expect a range day for a scalping method, high probability entries are in the extremes. Trade in the extremes here, looking for long trades, at least to the middle, maybe to the other side, or on the opposite for short trades. Always wait for the trend to like break. And of course, no, we shouldn't see any colorful candles in any kind of chart what we are looking. So I always look at the 50-minute chart and the one minute chart to define my entries. And when we do this here, let's do a 50-minute chart first, and then we go to this 1 minute entry strategy, or 5 minutes. You can do as you like, it doesn't matter. We see these colorful candles, and here at this colorful candle, 8:45 New York time, it was already white. 50 minutes candle opened at 8:45, the second one after the US stock market opening. On the 5-minute chart, let's look at the 5-minute chart, we see 8:45 is this one. 8:45, it was already, after 5 minutes, it was already break. Then we undercut it to the downside. Okay, at this point of time, it was pretty clear that we go to all the levels to the downside. Here, always where this liquidity. Where is the liquidity? At the lower end there. And of course, the session range gap, actually, I did not execute short trades. I was waiting for longs all this time, waiting for longs. And then we had session range gap closed on the NASDAQ. S&P 500 looks weak, but now is already 10 points higher than session range gap close. I also executed here on the NASDAQ. Not perfect entry. It was at the level of 922. 922 there. Okay, and now it's continuing to the upside. Why did I execute it there? Because of the bigger time frame, or like context analysis. First S&P 500 closed the gap. NASDAQ, well, of course, showed weakness, but was exhausted at the lower end. There, it cannot be this. Why? Because the Dow Jones stayed very stable at plus 0.8%. Okay. S&P 500 just closed the gap, also pretty stable. So in the NASDAQ, for me, all this, when we reached the second standard deviation bands, I'm looking to buy. Looking to buy at least where, of course, we have a supply order block here, but actually on the lower time frame, supply order block for me, from my point of view, doesn't make, of course it makes sense, but it's too late, or it gives you another confirmation. We might get stuck here. Why do we might get stuck there? Because it's the point of control. It's the point of control of today. Where do I want to buy? I want to buy there in the edges. So that's why I executed there. I will stay until VWAP. Okay, 981. Need to decrease. VWAP was a little bit higher, 981. So that's not a super big thing. Okay, but where is it? It's here. We have volume profile also. Low volume node. So at this level, at this low volume node, 974. I think I will decrease my target to 974. At least take some profits. Okay. This is the lower time frame trading on. You can do it on the 1 minute chart, on 5 minute chart. It doesn't matter. You can also do it on the tick chart in Sierra charts. It's context analysis which gives you the edge. It's not any type of candlestick pattern. It's not any type of just only volume ventures reading. It's not just high probability order blocks. Look at the order blocks. Okay, yes, here we see, I saw this also, We see 4-hour demand order block printing here by Orion. Yes, external ranges analysis era Orion is showing me higher time frame order blocks. So I saw that here we have a higher time frame for 4 hours order blocks. That's nice. It's nice to know, but actually it doesn't mean anything that this level will hold from my point of view. So you need to put everything into a bigger context, into bigger picture, and then you need to work. You need to work on the skill to execute. Execute not just with like steps A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you have these kind of steps filled, then you execute. You need to, trading and execution needs to become second nature. It needs to become second nature. And the most important thing is to have a proper risk and money management. If you don't have a proper risk and money management, you will lose. So always the most important thing, trade small. And in the beginning, if you want to learn day trade, intraday trading, scalping or whatever, don't risk your own money, okay? Don't risk your own money, never ever. Go to some random prop trading firm. I like TopStep, to be honest, because they only trade futures and they are well known in the space and they are very cheap compared to other firms like FTMO. I think FTMO is far too expensive compared to TopStep. And they also have a very nice, I'm not affiliated to TopStep or whatever, okay? They also have a very nice trading platform, which Albatherium will also build. We want to have similar trading platform to TopStep X with the similar execution, similar speed, everything. Like it's really nice, I think, there. And yeah, don't need to waste your own money for intraday trading if you want to do intraday trading. Okay, never ever. So let's take a look. I was talking a lot about 5 minutes entry pattern or lower time frame entry patterns. Yes, Pritam. Yes, with the high probability order blocks, with the help of volume ventures. Okay, this is the most important thing. You know this by context analysis, and this is also what we as the team Albatherium talking about. Is the market will change dramatically within the next years. It is already changing. It will become much, much faster because of AI trading. So we cannot just do simple step by step. Okay, if this order blocks is broken, then I execute, I put my stop here and there. No, all these algorithms, they know all these kind of strategies. They know everything. And they will hunt us. They will hunt our positions. So we need to be very flexible and we need to build a good foundation with bigger context analysis. Caius, Philip, did you combine? Also, I did this already. Is there any specific color code? I did this. TP should be take profit. Okay, it's irritating that the blue line is going down while the target is pointing up. The blue line is going down while the target is pointing up. I don't know. Sorry. Positive, white, yellow, orange, red, blue. Yes, Thomas. That's it. White, yellow, orange, red, blue is positive and the other one is negative. There must be different time frames. What do you mean with there must be different time frames? Where? To which indicator? So why is the volume candle to the downside if these are buy orders? Okay, Mr. Rami. Because the algorithm, there is something in the algorithm where we wanted to detect absorption. Okay, maybe I find this kind of information here in this 5 minute chart. Let's see. Okay, I give you an example. Because of absorption, this is the reason why we wanted to do it. to display absorption. Actually, from my point of view, we didn't make it that far to display absorption. That's why we developed Wyckoff indicator. And the Wyckoff indicator will get better, okay? There will be a version soon which will not repaint. Anyway, I don't find an example here on the 5-minute chart. I'm sorry. But if you see buying colors and you see that these buying colors are on the sell side, don't get confused, okay? It's just a sign of we wanted to display absorption, and it is still a buying or like long trades executing on the long side. Can please explain in short what is the use of volume profile and how to use it? Oh, Pritam, if you don't know how to use the volume profile, how to use it? Well, this is, of course, volume profile, we have the point of control. That's where the most orders are executed. And once you see this kind of thing, volume profile works like gravity. Okay, point of control, there's the gravity. So it's very likely that the market will go back to point of control. It touched point of control here, and I think from my point of view, it will go back to the other side of value. Markets, especially algorithms, are achieving a D profile shape. Today, we don't have a D profile. We have here a leg, we have here a leg. So very, very likely they try tomorrow to fill up this gap. Okay, and then what does it mean? They go here and then they execute a lot of trades here, maybe today in the evening. They try to fill up this gap and to make a D profile. So that means they will go to the upside and try to go up and down here around the VWAP, trap more buyers, more sellers, and to fill this gap. This is market theory about how to use volume profile, how to see bigger picture buyers and sellers. As algorithms are doing this kind of things. What's up, guys? Yes, Twilio looks well today. Okay, we will analyze Twilio tomorrow in the German YouTube channel. It is ready to get so fast in the last 2 years. Is it already get so fast in the last 2 years? Yes, it's already very fast in the last 2 years, and I think it will be much faster. Do lifetime users automatically have the Wyckoff indicator in TradingView? Not yet. We are working very hard to get it done, to bring it to the community. We are currently in the process of reviewing Wyckoff in TradingView to have it published as an indicator. As I said, we wanted to do it last week. I hope we can do it this week, very, very soon. It will be published, and you will get notified in the Discord community. Okay, we will publish it, and we will also make a YouTube video, I think, here on the Wyckoff indicator once it is available for lifetime members. It's a long topic with the volume profile. Yes, gold might be a nice one to look at a 4-hour chart. Okay, have a look at Australian dollar USD. Yes, let's do this. Let's do some more charts. That's a nice idea. Thank you for this. I hope I explained my view of the lower time frame entry well. If someone is coming to you, okay, from my point of view, if someone is coming to you and he's saying, this is the perfect 5-minute entry pattern, which will give you consistent profits day over day. Okay. Why? As long as this pattern, okay, this will work until there's not that many people using this one. it will not work anymore if bigger institutional traders or if big money is using this pattern, because this is very important to understand. Again, okay, we have in the coming back, what is very important, we have in this game what we are playing, in this business what we're doing, we are fighting against those guys. You know what these guys are? This green line, this is a weekly chart from NASDAQ, okay? And you see here COT report at the lower end. COT report, in the green line we have the large speculators. In the red line we have the commercials, and in the blue line it's us, small traders, non-commercials, okay, small traders. And the ones who have to be profitable in the market are the large speculators. If the large speculators don't earn consistent money, the market is broken and will not exist anymore. So the large speculators, they need to be profitable. They will be profitable forever, because if they are not profitable anymore, they need to shut down their business. And what happens then is there is no other party to trade with. The commercials, they don't have any other party to trade to take the risk from their hedges. So it's not possible. It's not possible to be like, to have this holy grail 5-minute entry pattern, which works consistent day by day, because maybe on the lower scale for several $100s, thousands, whatever. But once it becomes really public, the algorithms from the large speculators will hunt it, and then it's not, it doesn't work anymore. And this is what happens in the last years. It already happens, and this is why I don't present you this one setup, okay? Because this one setup doesn't exist. From my point of view, it's the bigger market analysis, the bigger context view, and risk and money management, which will make you profitable. Okay, let's have a look at the other markets. Talked a lot about these kind of things, I think. Gold. Gold. What do we see in gold? That's why I love to analyze the markets, okay? Because you always learn a lot of things by analyzing the markets, making your hypothesis. What do we see in gold? To be honest, I don't like to trade the metals. I hate the metals, to be honest. 4-hour chart. Oh, it looks really ugly. Yeah. Yeah, they need to continue now. Yeah, they need to continue now. Continue to the upside. So, of course, and this is why I like to look at things on the daily chart first, because also big institutions are trading the daily chart. See a lot of things on the daily chart. Yeah, look at this. It's a bottom building process here. Touch the demand. It looks nice. Yeah, they're working on this, working on it to the upside. Of course, once they fail yesterday's low, 12th of August, this thing is not valid anymore. We went below the demand on the 4-hour chart. So what we can do here is, from my point of view, we might see here a reversal to the upside, another try to execute on the long direction. But if we fail with lower prices as this low of 3,377, it's pretty likely that we go to the other side of this Wyckoff range. So from my point of view, there's a potential good risk-reward ratio here to the upside. And if we fail here to the downside, it goes to the other side of value. But please do your own analysis, do your own research. Yes, this is my idea. Let's draw it in. Should be like this. Only if we fail, then we go to this other side of value. Getting more liquidity at the downside, here below this 300. So this is a two-sided market, I would say. Can also reverse. And this is the most difficult thing. We see a lot of activity at the all-time highs. Is this now a trap and buyers will exhausting here? Yeah. Okay, next market, Australian dollar. Australian dollar. And then we'll finish. Okay, Australian dollar. Australian dollar on the daily chart. Looks pretty rangy, isn't it? With fakes here, fakes there, and this is the question if this is a fake or if this continues like this. Yeah, I think it is a trap. Let's see if we see them. When I look at this chart, I see certain things. This low, okay. We have lower activity, smaller activity, higher candles, but a lower low. So from my point of view, this is a continuation sign that this is the reversal and we will go to the downside. So same as the euro, we will try to get in some more longs and then we reverse to the downside. Yes. Similar. Similar as the euro from my point of view. Good. Okay. If you have any questions, thanks for answering all questions. It is similar to BTC, yes. No, not that much, but it looks like really range bound here to the upside, and buyers cannot push anymore, are exhausted. With this volume here at the downside, they are coming and push. Good. Okay, I think that's it for the current point of view. From the current point of view, let's keep it like this. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for all your questions. I hope I answered them well, and I'm sorry that to give you this imprecise answer with the entry patterns that we don't have. I don't have this holy grail entry pattern because I think we also as a team in Alpha Theorem, we think it's the bigger picture view, the context analysis, and risk and money management, which is the holy grail to trading success. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your attendance. And I wish you successful trading. Ask your questions also in the Discord community, and we'll keep you up to date with all the things. And of course, join next live stream next week. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening. Bye-bye, and see you next week.